The world most of us have known has been a price tag world. Everything has a price, one price. But if you take the long view, that's a bizarre aberration. For a long time, we lived in a world where customers and shopkeepers haggled over most transactions. And there's a good reason things were like that. If a customer needed a lower price on something, they'd do their research, say, I bet I could get a good price off these suckers, and spend the time making their case to the clerk. But if a rich person thought, time is money, I'm too busy to waste my time haggling, they'd pay more not to haggle. Everyone paid what they thought was reasonable, and the shopkeepers made a profit. Everybody won. That's the way things were for centuries, and just about everyone accepted it. Everyone except the Quakers. The Quakers thought charging different people different prices for the same thing was morally wrong. So they did this radical thing. In a Quaker store, they said, each item has one price. The price is just the price. And it was a moral stance, but they were ahead of the times economically, too. See, in the 1800s, businesses started getting bigger and bigger, and haggling got to be a hassle for the stores and the customers. For instance, it took years to train clerks to work in haggling stores. When you own your own store, you know everything you need in order to haggle. But when you add help, it takes time to learn. How much you paid for the stuff you're selling, how much other people are selling it for, how to stand your ground on your price or else you're going to get totally ripped off. So clerks spent years learning and training, which was costly to the shopkeepers and in turn probably drove up the prices.
Just a bit higher than I thought, that's all.
So finally, around 1870, a few people took the plunge and broke from the haggle world. They took that Quaker idea of one price one step further and invented the price tag, the little piece of paper that tells you the final price. And it wasn't about fairness anymore. It was about building really big stores. There were two stores that especially pioneered the price tag. Maybe you've heard of them: Macys in New York and Wanamaker's in Philadelphia. Macys was a Quaker, and though Wanamaker wasn't, he was trying to build a store in Quaker country Philadelphia. And he became a price tag evangelist. He felt it was the fair thing to do. It was good for hiring, and it was good for the customer, too. No more arm wrestling every time you wanted to buy something. And customers loved it. The price tag spread until it was everywhere. And from that day on, we lived in a price tag world. Everything has one price. Except, I guess, if Uber's surging.